Greetings, everybody out there in internet land, and welcome to the inaugural episode of Pod SCUM. That's right, this is the podcast where we dive into the deepest, darkest, murkiest waters. Take our guests deep, peel them back, and find out all the shit that you and I really want to know. I'll be your bastard of ceremonies, Rex Ruger. That's Rex with 3 X's. You want to know why? Ask the ladies. Because it's more than just a shirt size. Believe me. And as you can tell by this beautiful blonde coif, I also come from rock royalty, as I am the son of one diamond, David Lee Roth. Now, I know you're thinking, Dave doesn't have any kids. Well, you know, the science is not all the way in. The DNA testing is not conclusive yet. But I don't think there's any denying, taking one look at me, that I am the son of glam, the front man for the band, the one with 1 million fans, always going out with a bang, smoking a couple grams, Shazam! The heir to the throne. We're going to have a good time, folks. We got some great guests lined up, and we're going to have one of them join us here in a second. And this one is going to knock your fucking socks off, I'll tell you that. This is a guy with a lot going on right now, a lot going on. And I'll tell you what, he just said he's waiting, so let's get him in here. What do you say? All right. Now, there's no doubt that this guy that's about to enter the room, I'm going to take my glasses off because I don't want to outshine him. We're going to let him be the rock star for today. This guy's a legend. I don't throw that word around loosely, but this guy's a fucking legend. This is a guy who punches faces in for a living. Yeah, that's what this guy does. Punches faces in for a fucking living. Not literally, but with drumsticks. That's right. That's right. And currently, right now, there's a lot going on in his world. Things have gotten to be exciting. He was idle for a little while, but idle no more. No, sir. And well, it looks like he wants in right now. So let's get him in here, man.
There we are.
There we are.
Is that better?
Do I have a fucking legend in front of me right here? I do. A legend. Are you telling me I don't?
Yeah, I am.
Hey, don't feel bad because you're looking back at one, man, because I don't know if you can tell by the blonde hair, man, but you're looking at the son of David Lee Roth.
Well, there you go.
The DNA testing is not conclusive yet, but trust me, is there any doubt? Is there any doubt, Perry? Take a look at this. What do you think?
But do you have the chest hair? Do you have the gold medallion?
No. I'm sorely lacking in a couple areas. Man, it's great to finally talk to you, man. I'm sorry about the delay. I really am. I was having technical difficulties on the pole podcasting thing is relatively new to me. So I'm trying to put some episodes, kind of, put them to the side so I can start putting them up on YouTube. But I kind of want to get a little bit ahead. So I got a few already recorded,
Right.
Man, it's great to look at a legend, or it's great to look at another legend other than just, checking myself out in the mirror all the time. Big things happening in
Hey, I always feel if you're going to start a rumor, you better start a good one. You better start it yourself.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, why let the truth get in the way of a good story, right?
Right. Well, yeah.
So lots to talk about in the violence camp. The violence camp is all of a sudden was idle for a long time, and now we're back to full on.
Well, almost full on. We're getting there. We're picking it up as we go. Working ourselves into the market. We go in a lot of different places, and we're doing pretty good in all these markets all around the world. So, I think after November, after the MTV tour, a Headbangers Ball tour in Europe, we'll probably come home, I hope, maybe start writing some more,
Yeah. So is the EP route, is that the way to go nowadays rather than full-length albums? I noticed Let the World Burn, your latest release, is an EP.
Right. I think so because I think you just get, as a band, you get more out of it. I mean, was it nice to do 10, 12 songs? Yeah, maybe, but you're still only going to get 1 or 2 videos out of it. And
right,
we basically got 1 video out of our EP, and we did the cover. So, I mean, we did pretty good considering we only released 6 songs.
Absolutely.
6 songs, 2 videos. That's pretty damn good.
Now, I was reading on the internet that, and I got to get to the bottom of this because I tried researching it and couldn't find a definitive answer. But you start out Vio-Lence, and then all of a sudden it's Vio-Lence. Who
Just a marketing
who had the name before you?
Nobody. I came
And where
up with
the
the
fuck
name.
where the fuck are they right now?
I don't know. I think we just changed it because, if you were on the internet or searching something in Vio-Lence, you would never find us. It would just be random news stories.
The hyphen made it more fan accessible then.
Well, right. Yeah. It's just, that's definitely us.
So what happened in 1985? You guys started out as Death Penalty. Why not keep that name? Great name.
I just liked Vio-Lence better.
Who does
so
it?
I named the band Vio-Lence.
Now, can you sit here and probably say that you have probably did you choose the name?
Yeah.
The band name?
Yeah.
Can we sit here and say that you probably picked the greatest name for a thrash band that could ever be?
I think so.
I think so too. Yeah, I
Other
absolutely
than, like, maybe Exodus. I think Exodus is probably one of the favorite.
Yeah.
Slayer, of course, is Slayer's.
That goes without saying. That goes without saying.
Metallica, I'm still trying to figure out exactly what that means towards music, but it's still
for a lot of their career. For a lot of their career, they were alcoholica, weren't they?
Yeah, well, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Weren't we all?
Now, what the hell was the problem with fucking Atlantic Records back in 1990? Torture Tactics was too much for them?
I personally, we all know that those things are usually money driven, and there's no way that it was because of the lyric content. We were just a scapegoat, and I think Megaforce was probably losing their distribution deal, and that was just a way of them being able to shelf us, well, you said this, so it's like, well, they turned around inside Two Live Crew like the very next day. So their reasoning was, well, let's just say lacking. It wasn't.
Right. So the words, so the lyrics, C-clamp your head, pressure force fed, probably not going to be in a lot of weddings. Not a wedding song.
Probably not. What got us was, hey, fucker, can you hear her call you daddy in Torture Tactics?
Yeah,
that one they didn't like, and that got taken off the first record as well as the second. So,
boy, these record company executives have no sense of humor. Now, like when you look back at the stuff they wanted to stifle back then, as opposed to what goes now in the entertainment business, crazy, right?
Well, yeah, it is. I mean, I think that was just part of our white privilege, right? Was to be censored while everybody else wasn't.
Right. Absolutely.
They wouldn't dare do that to any artists of color. No way.
That's true.
NWA was coming out. They could say whatever they want, but we said a 4-letter word. It's like,
Two Live Crew. Yeah, all those bands back then. Absolutely. Now talk to me a little bit about talk to me a little bit about this. Well, I don't think you can call it anything short of a miraculous journey back by Sean Killian.
Yeah. I mean, he was really on death's door. I mean, he looked so bad that I wouldn't even go see him in the hospital because I just thought for sure he was a goner, and I didn't want my last picture of him.
Right.
In that bed like that.
You wanted to remember. You wanted to remember him as the badass with the long hair and the turtlenecks.
Yeah, my asshole friend Sean. I mean,
I did watch the documentary on you guys, Blood and Dirt, and I do got to say he's probably one of the most intimidating looking guys that could pull off a turtleneck back then.
I'll agree with that. Yeah,
that's not an easy look in metal. That's not very metal. We can agree on that, right?
Yeah, it's not. But we're asking him on Halloween to dress up in his fucking boots and his turtleneck and have a Hitler stash. Because he's bald-headed now, So, and we all thought it was going to be hilarious, But they were like, no, so that's just that might push it,
Now talk to me about what talk to me about what it means right now to have to be sitting behind that drum kit and to look out and see on one side of the stage Phil Demmel and on the other side Bobby Gustafson. Incredible.
Yeah, I'm pretty lucky. I get to play. And then, let's not forget Christian. I mean, he's an incredible player, producer, writer.
Love that move.
everybody. Well, I mean, and those two moves just happened naturally. We didn't push for it as much as people think. We didn't revamp the band because we thought we had to. It just kind of worked out that way, through logistics, people's time with working and their availability to do some of the things we wanted to do. And for a couple members, it just didn't work out. So we got some new ones. Bobby's been a longtime friend.
Yeah.
Forever. In fact, when I left Vio-Lence the first time, him and I and Billy Milano were putting a band together called Bully Dance. And of course, if you know Billy,
yes,
crazy that he is.
He sure is. Yep.
Yeah, we had a hard time sustaining that relationship. Let's just say in a working
it was difficult, huh? Yeah, Billy seems like Billy, a ball of energy.
Well, I get along with Billy great, but just other people don't. So whatever their problem is, I get along with him fantastic, man. He's I
may have to go back on what I said earlier though about you coming up with Vio-Lence, because Bobby Gustafson's side project, Satan's Taint, is a pretty good name.
When he came out with that, we were like, really? You're gonna name your band Satan's Taint? All right, I gotta give it to him, man. He went with it.
Well, he actually spoke to me about a week ago, and we were talking about, sometimes you're not able to sustain, just off, just making a living, just with the music business. Now, do you also work a day job?
Oh yeah, I think we all do, except for Phil.
Yeah.
I think even Christian, I think is, he's on a ranch. He's like a ranch guy. He goes around and kill stuff.
Well, Bobby said he's into plumbing, man, and I asked him for a little tidbit about wiping your ass with the baby wipes and flushing them. He said, "Don't do it.
Don't do it." Yeah.
That came straight from an expert.
But that's a whole other story.
Yeah, that came straight from an expert. I mean,
I know. When he comes to stays with me, I put him to work, man. I have him working on faucets and replacing little fittings and shit.
You have to, right? I mean, why not get your money's worth?
Yeah, I mean, shit ain't free. So
right, you got a guy, then you got a skilled laborer right there with you. Yeah.
Plus, he gets bored, so give him something to do.
I know from being friends with you on Facebook and reading a lot of your posts that you are, needless to say, a very staunch conservative and a supporter of Trump, correct?
I am a staunch conservative, and I am a supporter of not just Trump. I would not like to file it that way. I am a supporter of good policies that benefit all. Okay?
Right.
That's not being a Trump supporter. That's being a goddamn human being and a United States citizen.
Fucking American, right?
Yes, that's right. And that's it. I don't believe in participation trophies. I don't believe in any of that shit. You work for what you want. And if you fall down and fail, well, get the hell up and do it again.
How do we get this country back on track? Do we need to see a Rex Ruger, Perry Strickland
no,
ballot here on the ballot?
I think there's just no doubt he'll be back, and he's the only one that can really has the balls to do it. So hopefully,
you think we'll see him in there again?
Absolutely, there's no doubt.
I do too. Yeah.
So he's got some shit to do, and you can't tell me that man has been fucked with so much that the next 4 years, when it's just 4 years, he is going to go in there with a pitchfork and just clean house. And it's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
Then you're going to see Biden go to jail. You're going to see Hunter go to jail. You're going to see all that shit. You're going to see a lot of people go to prison.
I think so. I think so. I really feel that the country was in really good hands when Trump was in there. You know what? He may have occasionally inserted his foot in his mouth, but I like that he doesn't play the politician game and he hasn't spent his life in Washington and he's not just spewing the same old rhetoric that we hear from these guys all the time. It's actually kind of refreshing. Now, I know sometimes he would stick his foot in his mouth, probably a little bit too much, but all the boxes he was checking: safe borders, low unemployment, great economy.
Right. And, it's one of those things, right? And they ask a guy, how do you judge a golfer? And the guy says, well, I look at his form and all that crap, right? And then the other guy goes, I look to see where the ball lands.
Exactly. You want results. You want tangible results. Absolutely.
That's it. I don't work for my boss because I like him. I work for him because I get a paycheck. So
Right. The current situation of music right now, thrash music and the type of music that you play in specifically, Are there new bands on the horizon that are going to carry the torch, or just the bands, that have already built a legacy? Are they the only ones we're going to get good thrash from, or are there good thrash bands coming up on the horizon?
I think Hatriot is a good upcoming band. Sets kids, boys, and Havoc is a new band that's really good.
Okay.
From Denver.
I love Havoc. Love Havoc.
Yeah, but they're part of the new generation, right? And there are a lot of up and coming bands from South America, overseas, that I think, especially like South America down south. I think you're going to get a lot of music out of that because they start off basically like we all did in a garage, right? Shitty equipment in a garage. So the thing about crappy equipment in a garage when you're young is all you have is your enthusiasm to make
right, unbridled.
Right? You have your aggression and your angst, your attitude, and you don't have good equipment, when we started, I don't know if we all Vio-Lence when we were writing that, we didn't have great equipment. We had equipment, but we didn't have great equipment. So everything had to be like just balls out, right? Everything was like,
right. Just loud and obnoxious. Yeah, the louder and obnoxious, the better.
To us, it sounded great, even with crappy equipment, and so that's what we're going for.
yeah, exactly. Now you guys are doing what over the summer? European festivals?
Yes, we're doing Alcatraz, Bloodstock. We're going to do Brutal Assault Fest in the Czech Republic. Then we'll come home a little bit, and I think we go do South America, do some shows down there for a couple weeks, and then we'll come home. And then in November we go out with MTV on an MTV Headbangers Ball Tour, and we headline that. And then I think we're done after that. Come home for Christmas and hopefully start writing some more.
Is there a Headbangers Ball anymore? An actual show?
I believe so. I'm not in Europe, so I'm not actually 100% sure, but they're doing a reunion type thing. We were supposed to do it with Exciter, and they kind of pulled off because it's been postponed like twice because of COVID and all that other crap. So they got, they were busy. So I think Artillery is on there. I think Voivod is on there. And I think there's a couple other bands I just can't remember off the top of my head.
Now, when you look down there and you see my name at the bottom of the screen, Rex Ruger with 3 X's, that's too glam to be in a thrash. That's too glam to be in a thrash band.
I don't know. You can do whatever you want. Today, I think today you can do whatever you want, right? I mean, you can have short hair, long hair. I don't think it really matters anymore.
So Sean Killian needs a break. I could be your guy.
If you can do his cadence, you can do it.
Hey, I'm telling you what, though, when I listen to Sean sing, and obviously, you've been in the genre a long, long time. He's probably heard a lot of bands, seen a lot of bands live. Sean's voice to me really epitomizes what thrash should sound like, because he sounds like a deranged, escaped mental lunatic. Does he not?
Well, he is.
Oh, he is. Okay.
Escaped mental lunatic. Absolutely.
Okay, so you're confirming this right here on PodScum. You're confirming right now. It's official.
Yeah, that's why we never give out his address. We don't want him to go get him. He's on the loose.
Too much hate mail, huh?
He is he's a lyrical genius, man. He really is. And then even like just singing the lyrics while I'm trying to play, I can't do it. I can't do his cadence. I kind of in my head, I try to keep along, and I'll do the lyrics in my head, but there are certain parts I skip right over. I can't even do them in my brain to myself, so I don't know how sometimes he even spits them out. And then if I'm playing live, and might come back, or whatever, man, before I'm trying to get a grip on it, but man, I play incredibly fast, especially when the adrenaline's flowing. Yeah. And, Phil will come back and be like, slow the fuck down. Will you slow the fuck down? I can't even play a rep. Because he likes to downpick everything. So if I go too fast, it makes it hard. But and usually it's when I see Sean like, I'm like, all right, I gotta pull this back a little bit.
He'd probably make a good auctioneer.
He probably would, right?
Probably would, yeah. Now, what was I just going to ask you? Now, when you guys get together now, and obviously, you're not teenagers in your early 20s no more. The last EP, Let the World Burn. Where does all this aggression come from? Is it just because I'm looking at an angry middle-aged Republican guy, and that's where it's coming from? Because I know I am.
I've always been that way. That's just my release. I've always been a little high strung. So if I wasn't playing, I was riding motorcycles and dirt bikes, and I was always doing something to get my fix.
So even though as we get older, some parts of us like mellow out, you can still tap into that and always feel like you can tap into that to make good aggressive music.
I think so. I mean, I didn't know I could, but apparently I can. So
now, does it help when there's stuff when there's stuff going on in the media? Do you use that as your impetus to kind of write angry stuff? Like when you see like all these things going on in society that that you don't like, political or otherwise?
I'm sure it's there, but not directly. I mean, you go into music just because, you want to make heavy music, and I want to hear, I love it. I want to hear that crunch. I want to hear all that down picking. I want to try and match, Phil's riffing, and I'll try to put Phil's to that, or Phil will let me fill stuff in, drum stuff. And then like, he'll write a riff. And then as I start putting my stuff to it, my drum fills and all that, then he starts customizing the riffs around some of the, one of my problems is not playing the same exact thing every time. And so, him and I really worked on that, because he was like, hey, if I'm going to put this guitar part over your fill and make it sound like we're together, like, right, then you have to play the same stuff. And like, yeah. And we started getting into that. And that was it was hard, but it was a lot of fun, because at the end of the day, you start off with a riff, and then, I'll put in a fill, and then he'll put some notes right over that fill. No. And it's like, and it all kind of blends together. You're like, oh, wow. That sounds like you just did that out of the blue,
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah, exactly. Now, I take it that are you a parent yourself?
Of course.
Are your kids
I got
metalheads?
2 boys. Yeah,
and the kids are metalheads?
No. I think, my oldest listening to metal, my youngest is, he's into classical music and tours around the world with youth symphonies and shit like that. And
oh, nice.
Yeah, he plays piano and clarinet and violin and all kinds of shit like that. So he went a whole different direction, So he's a preppy. He's a complete preppy. He doesn't wear t-shirts. He's he went to school in a suit, and wear a shirt and a vest, Yeah.
So he's become a muso, and Dad is just the one that just pounds away on the drums.
Yeah. He always tells me, it's like, Dad, you're not even a real musician. You're a drummer. I'm like, I'll kick your ass, kid. I'll still could take you.
Now, when you look at these big four concerts, the big four that we know of today, Megadeth, Slayer, Anthrax, Metallica. Do you ever look back and think that because you had such a short run when you started out, that had things just progressed and you had that longevity, that you'd kind of be in that same vein? Do you ever look back with any regrets? Like, God damn, if we had just fucking been able to sustain all the way through, maybe we'd be up there with the Metallicas and the Megadeths. I think you are every bit there.
I don't think that way, because I stopped playing music, which was good for me. Allowed me to focus on my family and buy a house and put my kids through school, and just make sure my kids were all right. If I was on the road and in a van, I wouldn't have a relationship that would have allowed me to been home to take care of those kids. And those first and foremost, they are far. The band doesn't even come close to that. So
absolutely,
the band's just a band.
I got three of my own and 6 grandkids too. So I know.
I got 2 granddaughters.
Yeah, very fortunate. Yeah. And I'm only 49 years old, so I feel like being a grandparent at this age, I can still be very hands-on and active with them, because I just remember being born and my grandparents already being 75 when I was born. They never did anything with me. Grandparents were much older then.
Well, right. Probably
You
much
know,
more tired too.
much more tired, much more tired. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I probably lived a little bit harder life, you know.
Is there a better thrash album that was ever made any better than Eternal Nightmare? Is it the best thrash album ever made? Don't be humble here now, Perry.
I think there are a lot of great. I mean, for me, Bonded by Blood.
A classic. A classic.
But it really changed. Well, it's the reason that we wrote Eternal Nightmare.
Right.
So
right.
I mean, so is it better? I can't say that because you know, we didn't write them at the same time on even ground, you know.
Right.
You know what I mean? I mean, but I would say, you know, Ride the Lightning. I want to say Kill 'Em All at the time because it was amazing.
Right.
You know, Killers from Iron Maiden. I mean,
Right.
And I'm just going back to just, we would listen to those damn records on auto replay, right? You could just listen to one side constantly.
Right.
And we would do that, you know, we'd get stoned as kids and we would listen to that damn half a side of record all day for months.
Right.
You know? And same with Kill 'Em All, Ride the Lightning. And then Exodus comes out, you know, with when I got turned on to them and wow.
Boom. It's a punch in the face. Yeah.
I mean, hearing Tom and all those things going on like that and the little bass drum skips, you know, you know, and it's like, what the fuck was that? You know, holy shit, that is awesome. That guy is hauling ass, man. And it just was, and then when I went and saw him, I just like, what is he on?
Blew your mind.
Doing it. And you know, I was instantly like, oh, I want to do that. That's what I would want to do. You know, same with Bill, I'm pretty sure. I mean, we're just like, I want to do that. Because that looks insane.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
A live Exodus show, it looks insane.
Yeah.
I don't even know how Exodus used to play live because Paul Bailoff would always be like half a note behind singing. Always. Yeah. He was never on time. He was always half a note. And they would just plow right through songs constantly like it was nobody's business.
Now, how lucky were they, though, to find a guy like Zetro, though, man? I mean, to replace Paul Bailoff. I mean, that's very rare when lightning strikes twice and you're able to find a singer that can, that can step in. And I don't want to say fill his shoes. Obviously, everybody is a unique individual or whatever. Right. But I really love everything that Zetro's done with Exodus. I kind of tuned out a little bit. As much as I like Rob Dukes, I didn't like it as much as the Zetro years. I'm glad Zetro's back in the band.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing personal against Rob Dukes at all.
Well, I like some of it. You know, I wouldn't say it was bad at all. I think when it came down to Paul Bailoff and Zetro, I mean, as great as Paul was, man, he could not sing on time. You know, it just seemed like the poor guy could not sing on time. I don't know what that was. And Zetro was really had a unique, interesting sound. You know, he was a thrash metal AC/DC singer.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good comparison. That's an accurate comparison, if anything. You know, absolutely.
No, who doesn't like Bon Scott?
Right.
Nobody.
Right. Yeah.
Everybody likes Bon Scott.
Yeah. You hear that out there? Right. Everybody likes Bon Scott. And if you don't, we're fucking deporting you. We're putting you on the other side of the Trump wall if it ever gets built.
Or on the side where it is built.
Or on the side where it is built. Yeah. Now, let me ask you this. So, since you're a drummer and a percussionist and, part of the rhythm section of a band, excluding the guys that you have played with, if you had to pick a bass player to be in a band with to join your rhythm section, who would it be? Dream bass player to play alongside of?
It would be the man I'm playing with right now, Christian.
Really?
Yeah, I mean,
high praise.
He makes me much better, solid. His timing is way better than mine. He's a great producer, a great engineer, and a really great writer. I mean, he comes up with stuff. I mean, he can downpick and play guitar like nobody's business.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, it just doesn't get better than that for me. I mean, there are a lot of great ones, but I'm pretty, I play with him, and I'm blessed to have that guy on my left side.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, what will we see next in the Vio-Lence camp? Will you go back in after these European festivals, back into the studio again?
I hope so.
Yeah.
I think so. I think I'd be much more prepared. I probably drove Phil crazy because Phil and I was just getting back into it. Phil and I would probably work. Well, Phil would have to work with me.
Yeah.
On parts for he's got it all wrapped in his brain, but we would work on parts for like a fucking hour, just one part and things. And it's just like, damn. So when I got back in, I'd taken like 10 years off at least. And, so getting back into it was, I had to learn how to play again. I had to, double bass stuff. I had to really sit down, and that took me a little while because you don't just sit down and do some of those 210 beats per minute and 240 beats. Yeah. You just don't do that. And I started getting that, but then, I still had to learn how to control the adrenaline, because adrenaline just kicks in, and it's like, I'm like 40 beats per minute faster than it should be, It's like,
right. It's all that Republican rage coming out of you, Perry. It's all that Republican rage.
I would like to just say I'm a staunch believer in just whether you're Republican or Democrat. I would rather just be considered, just a good human being,
Absolutely.
And I don't think you need as, I don't think people are stupid and need as much help as everybody thinks they do,
No, I don't think we need the government in our lives as much as we do sometimes. Yeah, absolutely not.
No.
Now, let me ask you this, just because this is recent news and just started circulating. And so, while I have you on here, what's your feelings on this whole Pantera reunion? Are you for it or not for it?
I'm for it. Why not?
Yeah.
I mean, like, who wouldn't want to go see it?
Absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, okay, so Vinny's not going to be there and Dimebag's not going to be there. All right, are they going to try and be Pantera? Technically, I don't think so. They're just going to try and play some fucking music that the rest of us want to hear.
And I think, with all respect to the Abbott brothers, I think they are kind of referring it more as a tribute, a Pantera tribute. I don't think they're calling it full on Pantera.
You know what? And if people got a problem with it, well, it's real simple. Don't
go. Don't go. Yeah, keep your money right in your fucking wallet and don't go. Now, what do you think about? Yeah, me too. What do you think about the choices? Do you like the Zakk Wylde and Charlie from Anthrax?
I would like to see probably Dave Lombardo, but yeah, Zack's. Yeah, that'll be pretty fucking awesome. I mean, Charlie's gonna do amazing.
Yeah,
Charlie could do it one-handed with his eyes closed.
Yeah.
He's a freak of a drummer. I mean, he's so good. And Zakk
now, is it going to be
brilliant?
Is it going to be one of those things, though? And I'm really hoping that it's not, though, because it's going to really rub the fans the wrong way. I hope it just doesn't feel like one of those cash grabs where we get like these $100 tickets where people, can't come to it. Because that's already what I'm seeing on the internet is a lot of you can't do it without the Abbott brothers. And or the other thing that people don't like is they think that that's going to be the case. High ticket prices and, like these people are just, it's like going to be like a cash grab and,
Well, I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
Money
Well,
makes the
yeah.
world
What are you
go
doing
round.
for, right? What are you doing for?
Well, I mean,
it's their job.
People want to get paid and it costs a lot of money to do shit.
Yeah.
I mean,
absolutely.
Today it costs a lot of money. I mean, when we go to Europe, it's $2,300 round ticket for just our flights. It's $500 a night for each one of our rooms. I mean, shit, you're going to make $3,000 just to feed the band and break even. Then you got a road crew. You got it adds up like to, a lot.
Music business. Yeah. Music business, extremely, a lot tougher than back in the day. Yes.
Well, it's much more expensive. So, and as you don't have the label selling your record as much. So you don't have them to just as your cash cow, you kind of left on your own.
Yeah.
You can't just say, well, back in the day you made $1,000 to headline, $700 to support, and maybe $300-$400 to open. That's what you made. So when we went out with Testament, I mean, what we make $400-500 a night. The rest of that money came from the record label, you know, that we had to sell our soul to the devil to get, you know.
Right.
But that's how you do it, you know. That's how, and I think nowadays you don't quite have that, and you're forced to hopefully get on a bill, make enough money to support your cause and get out.
As you get older, do you find that the touring is more daunting, or do you still love getting out there on the road?
It's definitely more daunting. You know, the shows are awesome and all that is great. It's just, but traveling, the way we travel, I mean, we fly everywhere. We don't do buses and stuff like that. We fly everywhere.
So no more cramming yourselves into those little caskets in the back of a bus anymore? No.
Those
days are over, huh?
Well, we will in Europe. I mean, MTV is gonna get us a bus for all that, because it's 12 straight shows or 14 straight shows. So we won't be getting off the bus too much. We'll just be living on it, and which is, you know, hotel rooms are much nicer. You know, you fly everywhere, which is a lot because you're walking 10-15 miles a day with all your crap. You know,
absolutely.
In and out. But, you know, that's how we do it. And then it's much nicer, I think, to have your own room, you know, because you get your time out. You got your, you know, you can just go lay out on your bed, watch whatever the hell you want to watch and have a drink and chill out. And nobody's going to ask you shit or talk to you for a while. You get your time out space.
So you're still enjoying it out there. You're still enjoying it and having a good time.
I'm having a great time. We don't do it quite a lot enough to where we are really in each other's faces all the time, you know. And then when we're at home, we give each other a lot of space, you know. We text each other, but we don't really see each other for quite a while until it's time to practice and go do some shows, you know. And we all go back to work and do whatever, and that's just how we do it.
How about the better half? How about the better half? How about the better half? She happy to get rid of you for a while?
Well, yeah, she's gotten rid of me for good, so we got divorced.
Oh, Perry, come on!
Oh yeah, it's all good.
You just threw a big downer into this.
Oh, I'm into it. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah,
it works out.
It worked. Okay, well, hey, if you're telling me that it worked, I'll tell you what though, the rock star hair has come back very nicely though, Perry.
Okay.
I gotta say, you're working.
I'll tell you what, I miss that short hair once in a while. Like when I get up and go to work.
Right?
I miss towel that fucker off, brush my teeth, and go to work. It's like, no, I gotta wash my fucking hair.
I like a low maintenance hairdo. You know, just get up and go.
Yeah, well,
I work in healthcare.
That's what I miss.
I work in healthcare by day, so I'm a nurse, so I got a mask on all day.
Oh yeah, fuck that. I drive trucks, so I can do whatever I want.
Yeah, that's nice. That's nice because I don't think the mask, at least in our field, is going to go anyplace for a long time, if maybe ever. I mean, you know, going forward, post COVID, I don't think we're going to get rid of them anytime soon.
But it's ridiculous. I mean, you have a beard, so what? That mask doesn't stop anything. You know.
That's right. That's right. I know. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Let's not talk about it because it might make you shave your beard.
No, the beard's not going anywhere. I shave off this beard, I look like I'm 12. I got to be taken seriously in life. although it might help my case though, being David Lee Roth Jr. though, because he's never had any facial hair that I know of. Well, listen, man, the new EP is "Let the World Burn," and I'll tell you what, I like that title. I'm feeling that title.
Yeah.
Who came up with that?
Sean.
Sean came up with that.
Lyrics. Yeah, Sean did.
He just took a step back and just said, "The hell with it. Let it all fucking go right to pot."
Well, because it is.
You said a mouthful there. It sure is, man.
So, yeah. And what's funny is, you know, right when the election was happening and they stole the election, I mean, we were actually in the studio. I was in the studio doing tracks. You know, we were all together during that time. So it's kind of neat because, you know, we were all hyped up on that shit. And, you know, and recording. So we just could be all fired up going to the studio.
Yeah. Inspiration. Yeah, inspiration. Yeah. Now you seem like a guy who's who listens to metal all the time, who loves his metal, but like what's one artist that you listen to that people would be surprised that Perry Strickland listens to? You got a dirty little secret, something that's non-metal that you like?
I listen to like Slightly Stupid.
Okay. It's kind of a reggae thing, right?
Yeah, they're kind of, it's a weed thing, reggae kind of, I call it white weed rock.
It's a genre
You
all
know,
its own.
what I don't feel like being yelled at, it's like,
Yeah, you need
it's
something to
kind of,
mellow.
I call it drinking music by the pool,
Yeah, relaxation music. Yeah.
and little stuff like that, and then, I'd say I mostly listen to like old metal,
Yeah.
I love, like I've been listening to like Riot.
Yeah.
Like I said,
Yeah.
Swords of Tequila and stuff like I've been listening to some of that, and then recently got back into like some old Troubles album,
Yeah. Yeah.
because that was Alice in Chains long before Alice in Chains had a clue.
Yeah.
They were doing all that, and I've been going back and finding like old bands and stuff that I really dig. Some Saxon, just listen to some Saxon and stuff.
I'm kind of stuck in that. I'm kind of stuck in that same time warp too. I'm kind of stuck. And if I could show you, I think you'll be happy to know that during quarantine, I made this battle vest right here. And just to let you know, I sewed every one of these patches on. You guys made it on there, not once. You also made it on. You also made it on the back too.
Sweet.
Is that not a work of art, Perry?
That's awesome.
Look.
Yeah, Phil had a really nice one like that too, and someone stole it.
Oh.
Yeah, you had to start over.
I did a lot of sewing during quarantine. There wasn't much else to do, and I found that I had, I don't want to say a knack for it, but it kept me busy. But then I started to feel like I was working in a sweatshop, and I had to eventually call it a day. I felt like one of those I felt like one of those Kathy Lee Gifford laborers. Like I'm sewing all day for no profit.
Yeah. And all I did was drink. I was just drinking a lot.
Well, there's that too. Yeah.
Naps. Drinking and napping.
I'll tell you what, when I come home from work now, I work 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. When I come back now, I don't know if it's because the age 50 is right around the corner, but I'm starting to really appreciate coming home and taking the afternoon nap.
Oh, yeah.
I love a good nap now. I love a good nap.
Yeah.
Is that the sign of getting
old, man? I can't say it's fun of getting old, because I used to get stoned when I was a teenager, and I'd sleep all day. Shit, it didn't matter.
Sure. Yeah. Well, I need the nap because I've got almost a 50-year-old prostate, so I'm up 4 times a night taking a fucking piss, which is annoying. How's your prostate
I don't have
holding
that problem yet. I probably
Prostate's
will, but I don't have that problem yet.
Oh, you're lucky, man. You're
Knock
lucky.
on fake wood.
Fake wood. Well, hey, listen, man. I'm gonna let you go because I know that you took some time out, man, and you're in the middle of stuff, work, whatever you're doing right now. Yeah. But I don't know what you're up to. I don't know. It doesn't look like you're up to very much. It looks like you're up to no good, Perry. What's going on over there? Oh, nice.
I just pulled over off the freeway just so it was a little less noisy.
Oh man, I really appreciate you taking the time and going through all this shit.
So yeah,
I appreciate you going through all the shit. We had a little bit of a snafu there trying to connect online here and everything, but I appreciate you taking the time to do it, man. Yeah.
I appreciate it.
I'm hoping to get some of the rest of your bandmates on and a lot of other guys, in the genre. I'm hoping.
Yeah.
Have some good conversations. Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody's always up for it,
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I'm finding.
Reach out to them, I'm sure.
Yeah. And everybody's pretty accessible on Facebook, too. I like the fact that the metal community in general, they don't have this fakeness and this pretentiousness. I mean, I find that even when I go to metal shows and sometimes I'll roll to a metal show all by myself. I'm not going to let not having a companion to roll to a show with stop me from because my wife's not really into the heavy shit. You know what I mean? So I just went a couple weeks ago to see Agnostic Front and Sick of It All. My wife's not into that. I got nobody else to go with. My kids aren't into it. I go by myself. But the nice thing about the metal community is you find that camaraderie. All of a sudden, you're talking to people. Yeah. They comment on your shirt, or you're all of a sudden you got people to hang out with for the night. That's always what I loved about.
Not too much fighting. Nobody gets shot.
Nobody gets shot. Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, I think the moshing days are a little bit over for me because I've had a couple back surgeries, so those days are over.
You gotta stay out of that.
I got to stay out of the pits. Yeah. It is the pits have to stay out of the pits because I don't like it. I obviously it still looks like fun to me, but I find that these kids nowadays, it's a lot of throwing elbows and punches. It's not what it was.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not what it once was. It just seems like a lot of kids trying to get in there and kind of almost brawl with each other,
It's fun. It's fun from my point of view. I just
from your yeah. Yeah, the entertainment value for you in your view has got to look great.
Yeah, I'm up on a riser, just looking down like, oh yeah, look at that. Oh
Yeah.
man, fuck that guy.
Look at all that
fucked
chaos.
up.
And it's nice to know too that you're the one creating the chaos too.
I guess so, yeah.
That's gotta be a nice feeling. Yeah.
So.
Hey, listen, Perry, I could sit here and talk to you all day, man. I love what
All
you do. I love Vio-Lence. Anybody that tells me that Vio-Lence sucks is going to get a punch right in the fucking face. Eternal Nightmare is the greatest thrash album ever made. I'm telling that to my audience. I'm telling my audience that right now. If you're behind, and when did that come out? 1988. So you'd be what?
Yes.
34 years behind on your music. But it's never too late. It's never too late.
Years. Wow.
Yeah, go out and find this fucking shit though, man, because
yeah, it's out there.
It's out there, man. It's out there. I appreciate you taking the time, man. Actually, man,
problem.
I'm gonna let you know that you are my first inaugural guest on this podcast. You.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Nothing like being first.
Nothing like being first.
Especially in a gangbang. I'm teasing. I don't do that,
Oh, come on, Perry, you're a rock star. No gangbangs in your history?
No. I just say it, but I would imagine you want to be first.
Is it because the girls just don't dig the thrashers, right?
I don't know about that. That's not my deal.
What do they know anyway, right? What do they know?
But I would imagine it'd be good to be first.
Yeah. I think that applies to almost everything.
Yeah.
But certainly speaking to your point about gangbangs, yeah. Well, hey, listen, Perry, I really appreciate you taking the time, man.
All right, man.
The new EP is Let the World Burn. If you've been living under a fucking rock and haven't heard it yet, you deserve to be fucking taken out and shot.
Beat with a wet noodle.
Beat with a fucking wet noodle, man. It's been an honor talking to you, sir. I salute you.
Brother,
I
appreciate it.
I can't wait to hear more ass-kicking music. I can't wait to have your drums punching me in the fucking face again. I love it all, man.
We'll be working on some stuff, I'm sure.
And remember, sir, when asked which Van Halen you liked better, the correct answer is
David Lee Roth.
There you go. From your mouth to God's ears.
All right, man. It's been great.
Hey, man, it was great talking to you, man. Keep rocking, man. Love you to death, brother.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, talk to you later, buddy. All right, take it easy, man. Thank you. Bye-bye. And there you have it, folks. A fucking rock legend right there. What did we learn today? Well, let's see. We learned that it's best to be first in a gangbang. Wise words from Perry Strickland, the drummer for Vio-Lence. There's never been a better band name created than Vio-Lence. Okay? If you got a band name that's better than Vio-Lence, put it in the comments section. Email it to me. I don't know. But prove me wrong. Prove me wrong, because when I listen to thrash, I think Vio-Lence. And if you haven't heard Eternal Nightmare from way back in 1988, you deserve to be fucking dropped off a fucking building on your fucking noggin. Sorry for all the F-bombs, but that's what Vio-Lence does to me. Just gets me crazy. I want to thank Perry Strickland for coming on as my first guest. Awesome guy. Vio-Lence is the band. Let the World Burn is the new EP. Go back and check out past albums, Eternal Nightmare and Oppressing the Masses. And thanks for joining us here on SCUM. And we will see you again. And I am your bastard of ceremonies, Rex Ruger, spelled with 3 X's. That's 3 X's. That's right. Triple X. And see you guys again soon. And the next guest, well, they're all going to be fucking great, okay? They're all going to be fucking great. Because this is SCUM. This is where we get people in here and we fucking jump in. So until we jump in next time, folks, this is Rex Ruger signing off. See ya!